What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today we're taking a look at all the major sneaker releases in October. Thanks so much for tuning in today guys. Make sure to give me a follow at @RealSethFowler on Instagram and on Twitter if you haven't yet, but with all that being said, let's get into it. So today is the next episode of my monthly series, Sit or Sell, which you guys seem to love and that's why I keep doing it. Every month I let you guys know what sneakers are dropping and whether I think they're gonna sit or whether I think they're gonna sell. And as always, make sure to keep in mind that this is all my personal opinion, so if you wanna buy a pair of sneakers, buy it because you like it, not because I told you to. September was a pretty great month. We actually had a lot of great releases, actually more than I expected, to be honest. From the beginning of the month, it kind of looked like a dead month, but as time went along, there was a lot of great surprise releases. One in particular, which might actually be my favorite release of the year. It's my signed pair of Off-White Air Jordan 1s. If you guys want to check out that review or the video where I get them signed, make sure to click the link at the top of the screen. But guys, October is packed. It's a little crazy. I'm really not looking forward to editing this video. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of sneakers releasing. I mean, actually a lot of sneakers releasing, so it should be a pretty good month. Starting off on October 1st, we've got a China exclusive release with the Air Jordan 13 Love and Respect. This is a pretty clean men's and women's Air Jordan 13 pack, but as I mentioned, it is only China exclusive as of right now. And most likely, like the pack that released last year, it probably will stay China exclusive. So if you are trying to grab a pair of these for yourself, you might have to pay a little bit more than you like or have a connect in China. I personally don't feel like paying resale for these guys, so I'm gonna pass on them. But if you guys are trying to grab these, they will be more difficult to get. I'm not too familiar with the Chinese sneaker market, but because these are relatively limited and because they are exclusive to China, I think they're gonna sell out. Next on October 1st, we've got two new colorways of the SF AF1 Mid. The first is one of my favorite SF AF1 Mid colorways, the black and gum colorway. As you would expect based on the name, the upper of the shoe is all black and the midsole is gum. And to be honest, this is probably one of my favorite colorways of the SF AF1 Mids to drop because it is so clean. However, I don't think it's gonna sell out. Same thing goes for the other SF AF1 Mid dropping October 1st in the mushroom colorway. It's a decent looking colorway on a decent looking shoe, but this just isn't a silhouette that sells out anymore. So for that reason, I'm giving this guy a sit as well. Next up, we've got another colorway of the KD10 dropping, the KD10 numbers. From the outside of the shoe, it just kind of looks like a white KD10 with an icy outsole. But when you look into the sock liner and the insole of the shoe, you notice the blue and gold of Golden State, and you'll also notice some Golden State logos. I really want to say that this shoe is going to sit because it's a KD10 and the outside colorway isn't that great, but there are a lot of Golden State fans out there, whether they're bandwagoners or they're actually from Oakland. I don't know, man. I still don't think that's enough for this shoe to sell out, so for that reason, I think it's going to sit. And finally, the last sneaker dropping on October 1st is the Kobe AD Mid in white and purple. After the initial sellouts of the Kobe Mids, the other colorways that have dropped haven't been too hard to get, and even though this isn't a Lakers colorway, I think it's gonna sit. October 1st is packed, but to be honest, the only shoe that really piques my interest is the Air Jordan 13 Love and Respect, and like I said, China exclusive, I don't need to pay resale. On October 5th, we've got a couple sneakers dropping. The first is a crazy explosive 2017 Prime Knit in black and red. I've gotta say, so far, other than the Las Vegas colorway of the crazy explosive 2017s, this is my favorite colorway that has dropped or that will drop. I definitely like the gray and yellow colorway that I have, but I think this colorway is just a little bit more clean. However, I don't think it's gonna sell out. And finally, wrapping up October 5th, we've got the Nike Flyknit trainer in black citron. This is kind of an interesting color of the Nike Flyknit trainer. It's not my favorite. That bright yellow is just a little too bright for me and I can't really rock it with anything. However, it is a Flyknit trainer and they've been flying off the shelves pretty steadily for the people who missed out in the very first colorway. But to be honest, I think the colorway is just gonna be too much for most people, so I think it's gonna sit. On October 6th, we've got a lot of sneakers dropping. The first one is the AF1 Low Los Primeros. This is an Air Force 1 Low sporting a cheetah print upper to commemorate Latino Heritage Month. I do think it's a dope looking shoe, and I think it probably will sell out, but I don't think resale is gonna be too high. I realize that's not really what we're talking about, but what I mean by that is I think it's gonna sell out online, but I think you're gonna be able to find it in places like Nike Lab pretty easily. Next up on October 6th, we've got two colorways of the Dame 4 dropping, which are the first two colorways to drop of the Dame 4. The first is the Rip City colorway, which has dropped on every Dame model previously. It's a dope looking colorway on a new silhouette, but to be honest, basketball shoes, like I said before, aren't really flying off shelves, so I think it's gonna sit. The other Dame 4 colorway that's dropping is the Dame 4 Undyed. Again, dope looking colorway, okay looking shoe, but I still think it's gonna sit. And finally on October 6th, we've got two Kith Nike Air Pippin 1s dropping. The first is the Kith and Nike Air Pippin 1 in the black colorway, which I definitely think is gonna sell because there's a lot of hype behind it right now, and also black is a super clean colorway. And the second is the Kith and Nike Air Pippin 1 animal print, which again, I think is gonna sell because the Nike Air Pippin is super hot right now, and the animal print colorways, although a little crazy, people seem to dig them. We've got one drop on October 7th, which is the Flyknit Air Jordan 1 in the Royal colorway. I love my Bred Flyknit 1s. I think they're a super comfortable shoe. I definitely like the colorway, obviously not as much as the regular Bred colorway, but I still think it's fresh. And to be honest with you guys, I'm probably gonna pick up the Royals to kind of complete the set because I do think they're a really clean looking shoe. And overall, because it is a classic Air Jordan 1 colorway, even though not everyone loves the Flyknit 1s, I think it's gonna sell. On October 12th, we've got a Nike Air Uptempo dropping in the barely green colorway. It's kind of like a mint or a light teal colorway. It's definitely a clean looking shoe, but I don't think it's gonna sell. Also dropping on the 12th is the Air Force 1 Low NBA pack, which is a ton of Air Force 1 Lows in a bunch of different colorways. I mean, they look good and people will probably grab certain colorways, one, because they just like that color, and two, because they want to support their NBA team, but I don't think a majority of the colorways are gonna sell out. Next up, we've got two mesh NMDR2s dropping in a navy and a tan colorway. The NMDR2s just haven't had the same amount of hype that the NMDR1s have, and honestly, I don't think they look as good. And also, a lot of the mesh Adidas sneakers haven't really been moving, so for that reason, I think these guys are gonna sit. Finally wrapping up October 12th, we've got two crazy explosive 2017s dropping. We've got the dark gray colorway and the navy colorway. Both colorways are definitely very clean. I'd be happy with either of them, but I don't think either of them are gonna sell out. On October 13th, we've got two relatively hyped Nike sneakers dropping. The first is the Palm and Air Jordan 1 Los Primeros. As you guys all know, Air Jordan 1s are pretty hot right now, and honestly, they've kind of always been hot. There haven't really been a lot of collaborations on the Air Jordan 1s, and the ones that have dropped have been pretty hype. I don't know how limited this particular one is gonna be, and I don't know if people are gonna like the aesthetic of this shoe. I personally do, but because it seems to be more of a special release, and honestly, I do think it looks good, I think it's gonna sell out. And the other sneaker dropping on October 13th is the Triple Black Vapor Max. Now you guys are probably all saying, no, we've had a bunch of Triple Black Vapor Maxes, but to be honest with you guys, none of them have really been Triple Black. They've all had some sort of 3M or silver or light gray accents to them. They haven't really been a truly Triple Black sneaker. And that's what this Vapor Max is. It's a 100% all black Vapor Max. I think it's gonna sell out. And to be honest with you guys, other than the Comme des Garçons or the Off-White Vapor Maxes, this might be the one that I actually try and grab. I'm not a huge fan of Vapor Maxes, I just don't think they're that comfortable. Man, this video is so long, this is gonna be such a bummer to edit. So I'm filming this like 3 days early, so I have time to knock this out. On October 14th, we've got a very clean Air Jordan 12 dropping, the Air Jordan 12 Bordeaux. I love burgundy sneakers, I love burgundy clothes. In fact, a lot of my merch was also burgundy, and I think a burgundy Air Jordan 12 is fire. I'm not sure if these sneakers will be limited or not, and I think that's what's gonna determine whether these sell out or not. 4 years ago, you could drop a GR Jordan and it would sell out instantly. Now, if you drop a GR Jordan, it's gonna sit for a while and probably go to clearance. So I think if these are GR, they're probably gonna sit. If they're not GR and they're more limited, they might sell out because it's such a clean colorway. But to be honest guys, I think they're gonna be a GR and they're probably gonna sit. Which, hey, is a good thing because it's a super clean colorway and you'll actually be able to grab it. So I'm definitely gonna be grabbing a pair of these for myself, 100%. Also on October 14th, we've got 3 flax colored sneakers dropping. The first is the Armour Uptempo Flax. If this shoe had dropped a year ago, I think it would have sold out instantly because flax was very popular and so was the Uptempo. But because it's dropping now, I think it's gonna sit. Next up, you've got the Air Force 1 Hi Flax, which will also be dropping. Again, whenever this shoe dropped previously, it sold out like crazy, but I think the market is relatively flooded with this colorway of this particular sneaker, so I think it's gonna be harder to get than most GRs, but it's probably still gonna sit. And finally, the last sneaker to drop is the Air Huarache Flax. I kind of think the Huarache is a weird sneaker for them to drop in the flax colorway. I'm not sure how it's gonna really look in person. I'm not a huge fan of it. And also, to be honest, even though the Huarache is a popular shoe, there aren't really many colorways or any that I can think of that has sold out recently, so I think it's gonna sit as well. And finally wrapping up October 14th, we've got the NMDR1 PK in Green Night and Shock Pink. This is a pretty interesting colorway of the NMDR1. I'm not sure if I like it or I don't like it. I think the green with the pink is a weird color combination. I'm really interested to see the reception that this shoe gets because I think people will either love it or they'll hate it. But to be honest guys, I don't think enough people will really love this shoe for it to sell out, so I think it's gonna sit. On October 17th, we've got a couple unconfirmed sneakers dropping. The first is the Jordan 12 Doernbecher. We don't really know anything about this sneaker. I don't even know if this is the real release date yet, but if this does happen to be the real release date for this sneaker, it's definitely a shoe that I'll be going for. And of course, like all the other Doernbecher Jordans that have ever dropped, it's gonna sell out. The second unconfirmed sneaker that could be dropping on October 17th is the Fear of God and Vans Mountain Edition sneaker. Come on guys, it's a Fear of God pair of Vans. It's gonna sell out. A sneaker I'm very excited for dropping on October 17th is the Under Armour Curry 4. I've loved all the other Curry signature shoes. I think they're all great performers. They haven't really been hits in the looks department, but I think the 4 could change that. It's definitely a clean looking sneaker and I'm definitely picking up a pair for myself. However, it's an Under Armour, guys, so I don't think it's gonna sell out. I love Under Armour. They're from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. They're a great brand. A lot of my friends worked there growing up. I think it's a great company and I just wish there wasn't such a bad stigma behind them. Wrapping up October 17th, you've also got 2 City Sock 2s dropping in a very interesting material, which is suede. Not sure how I feel about that because I don't think they look very good, but you do have a tan colorway and a black colorway to choose from. And guys, I just think neither of them are really a good looking sneaker. I think they're both gonna sit. On October 18th, we've got 2 Air Jordan 32s dropping. The first is the Air Jordan 32 High in the Bred colorway. Super clean looking shoe. I really like the Air Jordan 32. I think it's a dope colorway, but I don't think it's gonna sell out. Also dropping on the 18th is another Air Jordan 32 in the Bred colorway, except this time around, it's the low top. Visually, I don't like the low tops as much as the high tops. I still think they're a great performance basketball shoe, but again, I don't think they're gonna sell out. On October 20th, we've got a KD10 dropping in the dark gray colorway. Nice enough looking shoe, nothing really special. I think it's gonna sit. On October 21st, we've got an Air Foamposite Pro dropping in metallic gold. I'm not a huge fan of this colorway, and I'm also not a huge fan of the Foamposites or the Foamposite Pros. I mean, let's be honest guys, the hype has really died on the Foamposites, so I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna sit. And finally, for the last releases for October, we've got 3 sneakers dropping on October 28th. The first sneaker to drop is the LeBron 15 in the Ashes colorway. The LeBron 15 is the first LeBron I've really been excited about for a long time, and I think the Ashes colorway is super clean. I'm definitely picking up a pair for myself, and I think if any of the GR LeBron 15s sell out, I think this is the colorway that'll do it. Another LeBron 15 is also dropping on that day, and it's the Ghost colorway. Again, I'm super excited for the LeBron 15s, and if I can't pick up the Ashes colorway, I'm gonna go for the Ghost colorway. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't think it looks bad. I just don't know what I'd wear it with, and I can't really imagine myself wearing it on the court. But hey, the overall LeBron 15 silhouette does look good, so I think it's a nice looking sneaker overall. However, I don't think it's gonna sell out. And finally, the last sneaker to drop in October, the Jordan 6 Gatorade. This has been one of the more anticipated Jordan colorways of the year. I think a lot of people are excited about this release, but I'm gonna say the same thing that I said about the other Jordans dropping earlier in the month. If this is a more limited sneaker, I think it's definitely gonna sell out, but if it's a GR, it's probably gonna sit. That pretty much wraps up the list for all the major sneaker releases dropping in October so far. Don't forget that my sit or sell ranking is all based on opinion, so don't buy a sneaker just because I say it's gonna sell, or don't buy it because I say it's gonna sit. Always make sure you're buying sneakers because it's your decision and because you personally like them. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know which sneakers you think I got right and which ones you think I got wrong, and also if there's any other sneakers that I missed on the list. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to me, Seth Fowler, if you want to see more content just like this, and follow me on all other forms of social media. The links will be in the description below.